Hello dear friends, you are on the Melonfonk channel. In this video, we will talk about Update 30.0 in Melon Playground. By the way, if you subscribe to my channel right now and like it, you will get more than 10,000 mels on your account. It really works. I also want to say a huge thank you to these guys for being in the video, and to be in my next video, just write a comment. It's very simple. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Enjoy watching. So, dear friends, Update 30.0 is coming soon, as announced by the developers themselves. And I have some wonderful news for you, which I will, of course, tell you about today. Let's take it one step at a time, guys. The first piece of news that prompted me to record this video is that a clothing editor will be added to Melon, the interface of which you can see on your screens right now. Overall, the interface is a familiar mod editor, and I didn't see anything unusual here. We will be able to create literally a head, we can create central parts, and all of this is similar to the usual textures for creating any NPC. It's very cool that we can now create literally costumes, or even gloves, why not? By the way, an interesting fact is that gloves have not yet been added to the game, which is naturally sad, but of course, the clothing editor will fix this situation. Speaking of the clothing editor, I think this is incredibly interesting and cool news because, first of all, new authors will be able to create new elements in the workshop, which means that we now have a mechanism with a chip, we have antediluvian transport with the help of, again, control elements that were added in the last update. There are also very interesting works related to the map editor, and now there will be works with clothing. This is just great news. We will now be able to create real costumes for the most ordinary NPCs. And I think even more, because we will be able to create conditional armor. I think it will be really interesting, because with the clothing editor we can create not only clothes, but many interesting things. And this is just, in my opinion, incredibly good news. What do you think about adding a clothing editor to the game? I think it's just great news, it's a great addition. But of course, leave your opinion in the comments. I send the most interesting ideas from the comments to the developers so you can become a participant in the future update. Maybe you will suggest something that no one else has thought of yet, and it will be a great idea. Let's see how many creative people we have among the viewers of my channel in the comments. In addition to the clothing editor, there were rumors about the addition of a transport editor. Again, according to the developers themselves, they are preparing something similar to add to the game, and I think that it will most likely not be released in Update 30.0. As much as you might want it, I think the transport editor will not appear, unfortunately, for one simple reason. As a rule, developers try to write an update plan, and most likely the transport editor is simply not part of that plan. This is because the clothing editor was already planned, and the transport editor is simply being put on the back burner for future updates, because you have to constantly give people content, and if you release everything at once, players will eventually get bored of the game. I understand that you want as many interesting additions to the game as possible, but you still need to pace it out a little so that players get a steady dopamine rush over a long period of time, rather than one big rush all at once. Then everyone will be happy, the developers will create content, and you will receive it. Overall, in my opinion, this is just great news. But overall, the transport editor is still planned, but most likely it will not be released in this 30.0 update, unfortunately. But there is a small chance that the transport editor will never be added to the game. I will now explain why this is the case. Because the developers are going to add donations. How is this all related, you ask? And I will of course answer you. If the developers add donations and add cases, then transport is one way to add something unique to these cases. What is the essence of donations with cases? I think it will be great news. It will be incredible content. If they add cases with unique transport, players will be interested in opening them to get something unique, something rare. First of all, to show off to their friends, for example, or just to get something rare. Many people want to stand out, and in principle, something unique in the game is one way to do that. So, in principle, if they add cases with transport, then I expect that the transport editor will never be added to the game. I don't know if that's good or bad, but feel free to write your thoughts in the comments. As for me, it would be great news if they did add new unique skins for vehicles to the cases, but, of course, write about this in the comments. Also, perhaps something like a seasonal pass will appear in the game, as in the currently popular games. This is a very popular idea. It exists in the FIFA series of games, Brawl Stars, Standoff 2, etc. In my opinion, this is more good than bad, because everyone will have the opportunity to get something interesting, maybe the opportunity to disable ads forever or for a short time, or maybe someone wants to pay money and get some unique mod or unique content again. In my opinion, this is always a good thing. It attracts the audience. It's a kind of hook to keep you playing the game, and it's very good for the atmosphere, for the community, for the audience. Because if the game doesn't have a hook, I won't play it. So this is one way to attract an audience. The game will also feature the ability to add infinite worlds through the map editor. It's unlikely to be random generation as with the Infinite City, but rather it will be done on the principle that if you load a texture, it can be looped and expanded as much as possible. Overall, this is excellent news. I believe you will be able to add hills as in an infinite city, various types of flats, etc. Therefore, the addition of infinite worlds is simply excellent news. But guys, honestly, there will be an incredible amount of work in the workshop after the release of Update 30.0. Crafters will make some interesting works, and accordingly, the Mels will earn money on this. By the way, you can withdraw money if you are an excellent author. I remind you that if you really know how to make high-quality mods and interesting buildings, you can upload them to the workshop and withdraw money from the workshop guys. With a commission, I think, of 35 or 30%, you end up giving it to the developer. By the way, I think the commission is incredibly high. But anyway, this is great news. It will really give authors free rein, and the creation of endless worlds will simply add freshness to the game in the first place. They didn't finish the map editor, in fact. As for me, they added animations there too late. They added other stories too late, which, as you may remember, came later than they should have. And, in general, the clothing editor and the Infinite Worlds editor, in my opinion, are just great additions. What do you think about this? What about the Infinite Ocean? Guys, as you can see, the vote is not over yet, which means that the Infinite Ocean is unlikely to appear in the upcoming 30.0 update. I think it will still be a major addition, but I don't know how big it will be in global terms. Most likely, it will be worse than 28 or 27.0, but 30.0 promises to be interesting because they will add some really interesting mechanics that may excite the community. We'll see. But the Infinite Ocean will not appear in Update 30.0 no matter how much we want it to, and all because the developers simply don't have time. They stated earlier that the update would be released in the middle of summer, as we can see from the release date of the video on July 15th, but the Infinite Ocean still hasn't appeared in the game. So the addition of the Infinite Ocean is a matter of time. Most likely it will be released, I don't know when. Maybe at the end of summer, as was the case with the Infinite City. But we'll live and see. What do you think about this? Of course, write in the comments. In terms of dates, the update will most likely be released in a week or two. That is, Update 30.0 will definitely be released in July. No one knows how global it will be, but it is already being tested, and a couple of mechanics have already been leaked and shown to us, so it promises to be interesting anyway.